Hey there, I'm here. I am one of those people who get ideas in the middle of the night and then immediately write them down so I don't forget. But lately, I've been having a lot of these ideas while I am laying in bed trying to fall asleep, and then my brain goes, wait, no, what if Mars had an ocean? So here's how we would do it. First, we need to warm it up. Mars is a frozen desert with an extremely thin atmosphere. Temperatures average about minus 63 degrees Celsius. So, to turn a frozen desert into a watery one, we need to trap more heat. One way we can do this is by releasing greenhouse gases into the atmosphere. Some scientists suggest using carbon dioxide from the planet's frozen soil, which makes up most of Mars's crust. The idea is that we could drill through the ice and let the gas naturally evaporate into the atmosphere. And since it's already there, it's not like we're adding anything new. We're just making it less frozen. It might also help that as the ice melts. It would also release water vapor into the atmosphere. Water vapor is another powerful greenhouse. Yes, it's actually one of the most effective at trapping heat. That's why here on Earth, the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere is a really good predictor of how warm or how cold it's gonna be. So, we've got all these greenhouse gases floating around warming up the planet. Great. What about all that frozen water at the poles? If we could melt that, we'd release even more water vapor into the atmosphere. Plus, we'd create oceans, lakes, and rivers. Woohoo, we've turned Mars into Earth. Well, not exactly. There's still one big difference between the two planets. Their magnetic fields. Earth's magnetic field protects us from the worst of the sun's radiation. This is why you don't need sunscreen in space. You're probably dead before you even get there. Mars used to have a magnetic field, but now it doesn't, and without that protection, the atmosphere gets blasted away. Oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide. All the stuff that makes up the atmosphere just floats away into space. So until we figure out a way to protect our atmosphere, any plans to terraform Mars are pretty doomed. But I'm sure we can figure something out, right? NASA engineers have actually proposed building a magnetic shield to protect Mars. It would be like a giant artificial magnetosphere. In theory, we could place it between Mars and the Sun to prevent solar winds from stripping away the atmosphere. And it wouldn't even be that big. We're talking roughly 20,000 kilometers across. Totally doable. Maybe we could just set up a bunch of satellites with giant magnets or maybe nuclear fusion magnets to orbit around the planet. For example, Jupiter. It's called the Van Allen belt. It's huge and it protects the planet from the sun. Okay, so it's not that similar. Our best bet might be to mine the planet's core for magnetic materials like iron and nickel. If Mars has a solid core, we could theoretically induce a magnetic field by dropping giant superconducting magnets into the planet. Or we could just drop the magnets on the surface. If the crust is thick enough, the magnetic field might just stop at that. Okay, so we've warmed up the planet. We've protected it from the sun. Now we can start introducing life. First up, hardy microbes. They might already be there. But if not, we can always deliver them via spaceship. Next, plants. And not just any plants, genetically modified plants that are engineered to survive in harsh conditions. We're talking low gravity, high radiation, super cold. Basically, Martian plants would have to be tough, so we might start with extremophile plants here. On Earth, organisms that already live in extreme environments, like the frigid waters of Antarctica or the hot springs of Yellowstone National Park. These plants would be a good place to start. We could also try genetically modifying cyanobacteria, which are photosynthetic bacteria that release oxygen as a byproduct. So if we could find a way to make them grow on Mars, we might eventually be able to create a breathable atmosphere. And that's how we terraform Mars. Okay, so it's a little messy, maybe a little half-baked, but it's not impossible. Is it crazy? Yeah. Is it far-fetched? Probably. Is it gonna happen anytime soon? Most definitely not, but that hasn't stopped humans from dreaming about it. This was one of my ADHD-fueled brainstorms. I love diving into big ideas like this, even if they're messy, half-baked, or totally out there. But the thing is, even though they might seem far-fetched, big ideas like these are what often end up changing the world. And I think that's pretty cool. So keep wondering, keep creating, and keep bringing your ideas to the world. You never know where they might lead.